It was listed on the agenda that there would be a finance committee meeting this weekend. I rushed over to the DUC thinking that there would be a documents provided with finances, there would be a discussion of long-term funding priorities. There was no formal committee meeting.
I'm sorry.
And there was no formal steering committee.
We have a one mic policy, guys, and there's a lot of side conversations going on, and it's distracting everyone, and I think that it would be really respectful, and it would be... He's not what?
But anyway, I'm here today because I was asked to get involved with kind of presenting more of a financial kind of solution, or what I thought about the whole financial crisis that United Council is facing. And I'm listening to everybody's sides today, and I think I can see from both sides, the frustration and the confusion about, the transparency, and from the board side and the staff side, understanding where they're coming from. I sat on the school board, I'm running for school board, and I've seen public education and finance work. And so that's one of the things that's really...
Oh no, that was for you. That was for you.
Oh.
Not him.
Oh, okay. But anyway, I see, the real controversy in finances in any educational institution and any group that supports public education. But the problem is, the real thing we have to look at is we have zero revenue coming in. That needs to be the first thing we need to look at. I understand from the board side, we need to support programming. But what supports programming? People and money. We have a staff of United Council that we're running on reserve funds right now. When you run on reserves, there isn't an endless supply coming in. So that really needs to be something we need to look at. And I think John passed out the transformation plan, which was, the financial portion was designed by me. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to post it to our Facebook page. I do have copies here. But the crucial thing, and I reiterate that programming is important. I mean, who here doesn't support, ending sexual assaults on our campuses? Who here doesn't, who here is against veterans being able to transfer their credits? I sit on the student government at Parkside. I met with a veteran last week. He earned 70 credits in the Air Force and 17 transfer. That's something we need to change. The other campaigns that we established, the social justice, and the other campaigns that we established, those are crucial. But the thing is, if we have no money to run them, if we're just running on reserves, there's a greater question of support in the long run. And unfortunately, long run is a real priority in the organization and the funding mechanism for it. And so I really want to encourage.
I'm sorry.
Are we running on, are we running on more? Or are we running on less? And a number of how long we can be solvent, we can pay our bills, that the staff and the board can receive their pay, and we can have the operation costs. Those are crucial questions, because once those revenues cease to exist, then the entire organization ceases to exist. And that is a really sad and unfortunate thing. And so I encourage the Finance Committee for the discussion to happen about what the financial future is. Do we have an accountant? Are we, if we're paying him, then he's doing a horrible job, because I don't see any numbers here. So we need to address that. And from the MRF, this is my last word. The MRF stance. We're not going to get it back. We aren't. I actually called Robin Voss. He's my representative, and I've known him for some time. And I called Robin, and I tried to lobby to get the MRF back. I told him, Robin, this is a crucial thing. And he said it is very unlikely that the MRF will get reinstated. And so we need to have a plan for where revenue is going to come from. And that needs to happen tonight, or within the next week, or within the next few months, because that's what the time is running on. So I encourage us to open that discussion.
Real quick. Will folks be cool for each speaker if we allow up to 5 minutes?
Why we brought such a large delegation to this convening was because for the longest time, for about 4 months now, we've been promised answers. We're going to give you answers. We have answers. Just come to this convening. We're going to give you answers. And we even asked its student reps, and they told us this. A lot of the members from United Council, and here we are. We're asking questions. how much money does United Council have? These are student dollars. Students that I represent put money into United Council, but apparently as soon as it goes to United Council, it's not my student or the student's money anymore. So why can't we just know how much money is in the account? And we keep on getting a runaround, and here we are, we came all the way here, we brought a delegation, we still can't get the answers. And that's really where my frustration comes from, and why is it so hard just to get an answer? And we came here to help United Council. We really did, but it seems like we're coming up with all these solutions, but United Council isn't trying to come with solutions back. And United Council said, we are transforming, we're changing because we need to change. Because we don't have the money coming in, where are your solutions? Membership wasn't even on the agenda. We assumed it would be, we were told that it was going to be, and all these issues were going to be addressed, but why aren't they being addressed? Why is Oshkosh Student Association have to come to United Council and we have to lobby basically to talk about United Council? We have an idea for what we want to change. We have a common position how we'd like to see United Council change, but it hasn't even been heard. We keep on saying it's going to be addressed here, and I don't see it being addressed.
I think folks are looking for a specific number. That's what it sounds like. The issue is that what we're dealing with is not based on a specific number, because it's more about how we're planning, right, collectively, what the board decides to do with money that's available. For example, in August, you all know that, maybe some of you don't know, but the board passed a budget, right, in August. Now, that budget, because we have $0 coming in, is all just money we hope to raise, or money that really isn't there, right, in terms of like revenue coming in. And this was explained at student reps. I had a lot of one-on-ones with student leadership. What I told folks was at the next student reps meeting, what United Council could do is provide an expense report, because we can tell you what we spent. That's not a secret, and we're going to talk about. I mean, it's available with the 990. That's fine. But the issue that I'm hearing is that people think the solution is finding a number of a savings account or finding out where all of our, to be honest, it's housed in about 4 different spaces. I don't think that the issue that would sort of yield a productive dialogue is about a number. It's about how do we restructure now that there's no membership attached to a fee, right? And so the way that I describe the budget is, if you can imagine a skeleton, there's just sort of empty rows in budget line items that have hoped for numbers. But if I showed you a budget that said, in events, we're going to spend $2,000 in this fiscal year, it's just hoped for money, right? There's no $2,000 actually earned by United Council to then spend in an event. Does that make sense to folks?
What my concern comes in immediate time, though, is I didn't even see on the agenda that United Council is talking about membership or restructuring. So
This is that space. It's actually listed in your agenda under the GA in terms of the content that needs to be talked about. It's about membership, it's about priorities, it's about communication and development. Those are the exact things that the student reps asked us to talk about, and so we crafted 2 hours worth of space to talk about it. So I'm interested in hearing folks, and I think that Lamont and Dakota are also interested in hearing folks' opinion on what does a membership look like. I think that Graham offered an example. I'd be interested in other ones. But I think that this focus on a dollar amount actually does not produce a definition of membership. But that's my opinion. You all are the students, and so I'm going to give the mic back. But I just wanted to provide some clarification.
Thanks. Jeremiah from UW Oshkosh. Just had a question where the decision-making process goes then. So we're getting input and feedback now, which is good. But then the concern raises, as we're trying to come up with definitions of membership, where are the decisions coming from? So we know now this particular ensemble is not a decision-making body. So, just my gut reaction would be that we're probably getting decisions from the board. But in the interest of transparency, I would love to know specifics as to who exactly is making the decisions, who's going to be in charge of restructuring, who's going to be in charge of revisiting bylaws, revisiting the Constitution. How is it going to be voted on? It's going to be a 50 plus 1%. Is it going to be a supermajority? When is this going to be voted on? When we ask them, what's a clear timetable? And then can we get a vote count and just make sure things are transparent? How is it going to be communicated out? When are we going to know these types of things?
It could possibly come, and this is just an idea, to United Council, so they can bring it back to the board and discuss it, where they do make the decision. The money would come from student governments. So from each university, the student governments would opt in or opt out to pay this fee to United Council. So it'd still be optional, as it was for the students. Because the student
decisions, but that Nicole brought to the body about the SGAs becoming more involved. Because the way that the funding of UC is going right now, SGAs, honestly, I think Oshkosh thinks that SGAs are probably the best way to go. Because even the other idea that was brought up in the Finance Committee was having UC becoming individual RSOs on campus, which would still be funded through the SGAs. So I just want to address kind of what you said about representing all students on campuses, because that is literally, I understand that UC and SGAs have not had the best history, and UC and student reps have not had the best history. There's a little bit of tension. I get that. But at the same time,
My thoughts on the future of student advocacy within the UW system without my presence at your convention. I regret that a prior commitment makes me unable to attend. I am writing today to express my thoughts on what I view as the most important issue currently facing us as students. How do we ensure that our voice is heard by our elected leaders? I don't say this because I feel like we need to fight and claw for our rights, but rather that shared governance makes our institution stronger, and our state has a long history of such a partnership. More specifically, I would like to address the future of United Council. I believe that it is important at this time that we are all united as students, and that we do not detract from the serious conversation regarding the future of this organization with political grandstanding. Recalling leaders in United Council is a distraction from a more important and time-sensitive conversation we need to have. I would encourage our conversation to be pragmatic while acknowledging that serious change will need to take place.
I know some I don't. But thank you all for being here and advocating for yourselves. So I came to the convention with a lot of strong feelings and a lot of concerns and a lot of things that sort of led me to feel angry and drink beer by myself at night. And I won't say that I don't still have those concerns, that I don't still have those things that make me worried and things that upset me. I was a board member for 2 years, and we tend to carry a very